We all experience difficult times or challenging moments where obstacles are just thrown at us from all different angles. And quite honestly, that's never going to change. We're always going to be thrown these different challenges and we're going to have to get through them. But what we can do for our future is make it a little bit easier for us to get through and be more resilient. So today I'm going to share with you how we can heal those emotional traumatic incidences or experiences and how to heal those open wounds, and finally learn how to gain resilience and strengthen our resilience so that in the future we can recover at a much faster rate than what we would maybe do right now. Today I'm going to share that with you, so if you are interested, keep on watching. Hello everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Amber, if you don't know me already. I make YouTube videos about psychology topics, mental health, awareness, mindset, and many other topics. I also have an Instagram channel where I share lots and lots of information on these same kind of topics, so please go ahead and check that out. But let's get straight into this video. I don't know about you, but I've been in situations where I have had to go through something very challenging, and it was actually very hard to overcome. It wasn't this thing where I can just get it out of my mind and heal. It took me a very, very long time to even just process what really happened and accept it for what it was. And that is something that quite honestly is not the healthiest, and we should be able to go through a situation and overcome it, right? But sometimes that can be difficult. I can tell you right now that you probably know someone in your life who is like the strongest person ever, but they have gone through some of the darkest things. They have gone through challenges, but yet they always come out of it, right? And they're always optimistic and they're always so full of life. Well, that is because they have really high resilience. And for me, I never had that in my life. I feel like a lot of people experience this. Sometimes this can stem from our childhood. And if you haven't watched my last week's video, I definitely would watch that first before continuing with this video. It talks about a lot in depth of our childhood and how triggers can affect us when we don't necessarily always understand where it's coming from. So definitely go watch that video first and then come back, because it does relate to this video as well. But basically what I'm trying to say is that in our childhood, if our parents protect us from certain obstacles, or they never want us to, be hurt or challenged or upset or sad, and those things are all coming out from a place of love. However, sometimes we need those moments to grow. We need those challenging moments of learning to understand how to strengthen our resilience. If we don't experience situations where we have to challenge ourselves, or if we don't experience situations where we fail, then when that moment comes as an adult, we're not going to understand how to truly process that information and get through it in a healthy way. And so as we get older and we have weaker resilience, then our abilities to be resilient to those challenges are going to be extremely overwhelming. And so because it becomes so overwhelming, we don't know how to cope with it well. We don't know certain strategies to help us get through it and recover. So it's important that we strengthen that resilience so that as we get older, we can truly live a healthy and happy life. But let me back up a little bit. What is resilience, right? What in the world is it? Well, it's the ability to adapt during a challenge or obstacle or negative situation and recover from it in a very quick manner. If we're not able to quickly adapt and heal from it or recover, then that means that we have weak resilience. But if we have strong resilience, that means that when we are in a situation, we're able to go through a certain amount of steps to recover quickly in a healthy manner. And so basically what I'm trying to say is building resilience is the key to healing. And so how can we finally gain this resilience and strengthen our resilience so that we can heal our emotional trauma or our past wounds? Well, I'm going to share that with you right now. So one of the first things that you should focus on is really digging deeper and truly understanding yourself. So having self-awareness is so important, especially during these times. Having self-awareness is going to help you understand your emotions, understand where the underlying reasoning is to this trauma and why it overwhelms you, or why it's triggering for you, or why it still has such a deep connection to you. Asking yourself, where does this trauma come from, and why is it still causing this pain for you, or this hurt, or why is it still triggering for you? Those are really important questions to ask yourself. This is going to take a lot of reflection. It's going to take a lot of understanding of yourself. It's going to take a lot of it's going to take a lot of strength to go back into that place where you were at that moment in time when it happened. And that isn't always easy, but it is going to be a huge step to healing. So understanding where it stems from is ultimately going to be the key to moving into the next step, which I'll explain in just a little bit. But I wanted to give you guys an example of this. So basically, if you are judged by someone in your workplace for your work performance and it came off very harsh, it came off in a way that you weren't really expecting, and you take a lot of pride in your work, and it's actually a sensitive subject for you because your work ethic you hold as your identity, and so on and so forth. So when you were criticized or you were judged in your workplace, the overwhelming feeling of this critique just totally took over your mind. It took over your emotions. It took over everything. It just took over. And this kind of experience can create a lot of emotions. It can make you doubt yourself. It can make you doubt yourself. It can make you feel like you are not worthy. It can make you feel like, it can make you second guess, your own abilities. You can start blaming that person and the kind of person that they are, and so on and so forth. And you can create this huge problem internally, really, just for yourself. And if you have weak resilience and you're not able to bounce back quickly, then all that emotion that you're experiencing is just gonna fester inside of you for the longest time. And then guess what? Your work performance is gonna go lower. Your confidence, your self-esteem, your ability to do the job that you know you can do is going to lessen. And so it's important for you to take this time to take a deep breath, take a step back, and focus on where all of this emotion is really coming from. Why am I so triggered by what this person said about my work performance? Then you're gonna ask yourself why. So the reason why their comments about my work performance is affecting me so much is because I truly care about how people see me, and my work ethic and my performance is my identity, because my success is so important to me. And then I'm gonna ask myself, why? Well, the reason why is because as a child, I had lots of pressure to fit a certain expectation, or I lived in a competitive household, or things like that. And those are the reasons why. And so a lot of this, which you may actually discover for yourself, is going to stem from your childhood. And that's why I said that watching the first video I posted is really important to watch, because it goes in more depth about that subject of childhood. So again, I'll put it right up here just so you guys can click on it if you haven't watched it yet. So after you ask yourself where this is coming from and why I feel this way, and what is the underlying reason for all of this, you're gonna go ahead and embrace the experience for what it is, and you're going to accept it. And that sounds really simple, but it's not always simple, but we should learn how to do this, and it will take time. So basically what you're gonna do is rationalize the situation, fully understand step by step what just happened. Instead of reacting and putting your emotions at the forefront of the situation, really understand that, okay, this is what happened, they said this, and that's that, right? So fully understand the situation. And a lot of times we want to fight the feelings that we feel, and we have this urge to almost run away because we're uncomfortable by this situation. And so that is another reason why we react, and why we might get angry, or we try to blame others. And so it's really because we're uncomfortable from it. But I really want you to try and embrace this feeling that you're feeling and really truly understand the situation. Once you're able to grasp the situation, then you're able to accept the situation for what it is. But I'm not telling you that you should just accept what happened and agree with it, because I don't believe that. I think you have the right to disagree with what just happened, and it doesn't mean that you should just give up and just kind of let things be how they are. What I'm telling you is that you're able to truly understand the trauma. You're able to understand what this experience is making you feel and what the situation is for itself, and then how it's making you feel. And then once you're able to do that, then you can look at it, face forward for what it is, and you can better process those difficult emotions. Rather than just going full force and reacting, you're able to process it and say to yourself, okay, this hurts, or this makes me uncomfortable, or this is frustrating for me, and this is why. So going into my next step, instead of becoming overwhelmed with emotion and reacting and creating this into an even more negative outcome, it's really important to be optimistic. So this is going to take a lot of training your mind to have this kind of mindset. But when you are optimistic, you're able to live your life in a healthy way and with purpose. So when you're able to finally step back and look at the bigger picture of things, you can tell yourself, you know what, I understand that this person is criticizing me for my work performance, but you know what? There are people that I work with as well who actually really enjoy working with me. They enjoy what I bring to the table, they love my creativity, and they love my work performance overall. And so we have to look in a more positive way. I know my worth. I know that I put 110% into everything that I do. So even if that one person doesn't see that, it doesn't mean that I should devalue myself, in any way, because I know for myself that I know that I have a lot to offer. And so it's important not to take certain situations and challenges and make it this big overarching problem for yourself, because you're never going to be able to get to the next step or to move forward. And so if you can look into a more optimistic way, you're able to live life with purpose. You're able to live life the way that you want and in a happy way. So instead of letting this situation overwhelm you, use the strength that you have inside you. Use that positivity that you are training your mind to see and to believe. Use that to create motivation, to create determination, and give yourself the chance to live a happy life. So if this person is critiquing me for my work, why don't I use this scenario and push myself to show this one person and to the world and to myself that I am a great worker, and that this one situation does not affect my entire life. And I'm gonna use this experience to grow and learn and move forward, because you know what, there might be another experience where I have to go through another work challenge, but at the end of the day, I know that I have a lot to offer, and that's never gonna stop me. I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna keep pushing myself. And so this is something so important that we all should be working on, especially if our resilience is a little bit on the weaker side. You know, we have a lot to offer and we have a lot to give. And so let's go ahead and strengthen our minds, strengthen our ability to have better resilience so that we can live a proper and healthy life. Let's give ourselves the ability to heal and move forward and not let our past or trauma impact the way that we live our lives. We only have one life, right? Don't let those experiences take away from this one life. We need to give it our all, and we need to live with purpose. We need to be optimistic, and we just need to be more self-aware, and we're able to be more resilient. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy this video. Go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting next week, and it's going to be all about how to minimize stress when you're at the point where you're about to explode and you're just so stressed out and nothing even matters anymore and you're just so over it. I'm going to share with you some steps on how you can decrease that stress and not let it affect you, and you're able to push forward and keep doing your best and fulfilling your true potential. So if you want to see that video, go ahead and hit that bell button so you don't miss out. And again, I also have a Instagram, so go ahead and follow me on there, and you'll see lots and lots of content as well. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!